I have to and want to. The Mackay Cutters, the BMD Premiership starts this weekend. Let's get stuck into it. Howdy, welcome back to Wobble Enjoy Sports. If you're new around here, hope I can get you to consider to like the content and subscribe to the channel. But if you are a regular around these here parts, thank you very much for the continuous support. The BMD Premiership starts this weekend. And for those regulars that have been around here, you know that I've been talking about the Cutters for the past 2 years in the lead up to an NRLW season, which is only 3 weeks away. The Mackay Cutters, they won the Premiership last year in 2024. It was such a fun time to talk about the Cutters, but also go see and follow the Cutters. That also got me to watch the men play as well soon after. It took me to places like Toowoomba, for example, just up the road to the Logan Metro Swamp, as I called it that day. But I had so much fun talking about the Mackay Cutters last season, and coming into 2025, it is a vastly different prospect for every single team, also including a couple of new ones. One of those new ones is going to be the Northern Pride, making their debut in the BMD Premiership. So there is another team to talk about in regards to filtering through up to the North Queensland Cowboys, but there's only so much footy that one person can actually watch and report on throughout an entire week. So I'm just going to focus on the Cutters just for this week, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not even guaranteeing a video every single week about the Mackay Cutters, because I'm absolutely juggling everything at the moment. But this is something that I really wanted to talk about, considering what happened last year, the fun that I had, and seeing the Cutters actually win the Premiership last season. So I said that it was vastly different for a couple of reasons. The Northern Pride are coming in, but also this team is very, very different. There's still a couple of pieces to the puzzle that made up the victory last year. It is different. So let's get stuck straight into the team lists. The Tweed Seagulls host the Mackay Cutters this Saturday from 1 p.m. And this, I believe, is the first time that the Cutters have actually travelled down to Tweed to take on the Tweed Seagulls. At fullback, Courtney De Gruara, Anthea Campbell and Alofa Apulu are the wingers. Maya Powell and Madison Westacott are the centres. Mercedes Lawson and Captain Kayla Shepherd, they are the halves. The forward back, Sophie Irving, Tani Avanis and Peyton Johns at hooker, that is the front row. And the back row, Hasledine, Selena Cowley and Emily Bella. The interchange is Caitlin Daly, Vanique Maleta, Lyric Mara and Libby Surha. So the likes of Mara, Libby Surha, Emily Bella and Kayla Shepherd, who were a part of the squad last year, but the rest of the team are brand new to the level of BMD Premiership. Now let's talk about the first name, the fullback, Courtney De Gruara. She represented Queensland Country last year in the City versus Country matchup that happened way back in September, and you two as well, were able to check out some highlights from that game, and this is my reaction to that game.
And now, over halfway, have a look at the footwork here from the number 21 in Banders, half.
Oh, good scramble.
Couldn't get it. They still go to the left. And little draw and pass, one to beat, left foot step, Queensland Country, Courtney Deguara.
Oh.
Play the ball, and from dummy half this time, Elena Whip, they keep it alive. They've got the overlap. If they can keep the offloads going, they do that, and they're over, Country. They've scored.
Oh. No. Get back in. It is only a bite size, but those 3 moments are very impressive, and Degaruara, was a part of some of the moments that led Queensland country to the first ever victory in the first ever city versus country match. So that's very, very exciting. Anthea Campbell is a part of the Mackay Cutters under-19 squad that won. Now, she didn't play on grand final day, but she has been a part of the squad and has been a name that I have seen over the past couple of years. Alofa Apulu, also part of the Cutters under-19 squad that's being elevated into BMD Premiership this year. She is a captain of her local club, the Mackay Magpies. I think that was last year. I'm not too sure about this season, but for her to already be a captain of her local bush team is something not to be sneezed at. So for a winger, she obviously has quite the stance on her. Obviously, I've never seen her play, so looking forward to seeing how she goes. Maya Powell, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I hope it's not like Mia or Maya, but for the time being, I'll say Miss Powell. She has also been a part of this Cutters development squad for a couple of years now. She also made her BMD Premiership debut last season as well. I think it was for the second last round or for the last round of the home and away regular season. I think it might have been against the Brisbane Tigers in that draw. But in any event, she is a player that won with the under-19s last year. And there's a lot of raps about her, I feel. It's not because I've been reading a lot of things. It just feels like that she is destined to be part of this Cowboys squad sometime in the next 18 to 24 months. So keep an eye on Maya Powell, not just for this weekend, but for the rest of time. Now, the halves pairing, Mercedes Lawson, a part of the Premiership and success over the past couple of years down in the under-19s, and then Kayla Shepherd, who last year really burst out to me without obviously picking up a NRLW contract or what have you. She will be an NRLW player one of these days, and hopefully for the North Queensland Cowboys. Last year, I thought she dictated and led as a half alongside Tallulah Tillett, but I thought Kayla Shepherd was fantastic and was a great piece to the puzzle that led the Mackay Cutters to the BMD Premiership last year, and she is captain, and she's just about the face of the female Mackay Cutters team as well. Go to the friggin' website. She's friggin' everywhere. But yes, Kayla Shepherd, the captain and halfback for the Cutters. I really like the style of Kayla Shepherd. Thought her best attribute was her leading around the team last year, at times taking the leadership rungs or reins from somebody like Tallulah Tillett. Peyton Johns was the player of the day in the Mackay Cutters under-19s grand final victory. She did make her BMD Premiership debut last season as well in the final game of the home and away regular season against the North Devils, no less as well. This back row, I'm actually really intrigued by. I have been watching Mackay Cutters under-19s team this season as well. Shailene Hasledine, Selena Cowley, and Emily Bella as a back row. Now, 99% of us would look at that and go, yeah, what? So, well, Hasledine is the captain, or was the captain of the under-19s Mackay Cutters this season, and Selena Cowley was the player's player. A lot of players get around Miss Selena Cowley, and then we've got Emily Bella, who was a part of the Gold Stars winning a premiership winning team back in 2022. She was a part of the team that won last year in the BMD Premiership. Success is following Emily Bella wherever she goes, and she has been a hooker / halves player for the better part of 4 years now. And Coach Marco Peters has now said, you're going to be our lock starting this weekend and possibly for the rest of the year. That is fascinating to me. She is a strong defender for a lock. She's going to have a bit of a kicking game. She's going to have a break glass in case of an emergency kicking game. I actually like it. Never seen her play lock before, but she's obviously got the frame on her. Well, she does have the frame on her. I'm excited to see how Emily Bella actually plays at lock. That back row is strong. I think that's going to be an underrated strength for us coming into, or for them, coming into the 2025 season. And then the interchange is Caitlin Daly, Fanique Mailata, Lyric Mara, and Libby Sura. Three of those names were a part of the Cutters BMD Premiership last year. Most notably, Miss Lyric Mara. I thought she was absolutely amazing. And there was a highlight as well. I did a live stream and she absolutely stole my heart when she did this.
Bella passes left infield. Blackwell, Ford, Yarrow. Oh, Mara from 15 metres out rolls over and scores. Well done, Lyric Mara. Holy smokes.
She is an awesome player. Malaita has been a part of the squad, obviously, for the past few years as well. I like her too. And Libby Sura, she came in and did a really good job last year. I can't remember at the moment who it was for, but we copped an injury to a centre last year, and Libby Sura had to come in and fill that void. She did a really, really good job for us last year in 2024, and she's a Queensland under-19s representative as well, so she's got a truckload of Milo to her glass. So looking forward to seeing her run around and evolve. So the question does beckon, it does beg the question, where's the likes of Emma Manselman, an Alicia Ford, a Tiana Raffstrand-Smith, a Crystal Blackwell? I could go on and on and on and on, but that's just the natural progression of women's rugby league at the moment. The NRLW season kicks off in about 3 weeks' time. You want to have yourself a settled, zoned-in team on that level. You want to have yourself a settled, zoned-in team at BMD Premiership level as well. And you don't want to be relying, if you're a BMD Premiership player, squad, captain, coach, you don't want to be relying on those, bigger stars to come in and help you out. You got to all have this really strong core and stick together throughout the entire year. And the Mackay Cutters female team, they have set themselves a hell of a standard. I know that they were once known as the North Queensland Gold Stars, who won the Premiership, but then the BMD Cutters became a thing in 2023. They made the semi-finals that year. They won the Premiership last year. There is a hell of a standard that has been set at the Mackay Cutters. So all these ladies that have been a part of bush footy for a few years, they're now on a pretty big stage at the BMD Premiership level. About half of this team has played with each other that won the under-19s Premiership in 2024 and then returned to finals this year as well. Unfortunately didn't make the grand final, but still finals is an expectation on the Mackay Cutters BMD Premiership team, or just female rugby league team. So yeah, man, I'm excited. And while there are obviously a handful of players that I have never even seen play before, I'm not overly familiar with, there's still enough pieces there for me to think, especially that back row and Kayla Shepherd. I'm actually really excited to see how the Mackay Cutters go. The weakness, I suppose, if I had to point out a weakness, is that this is a very, very young team. And I think there's going to be a lot more younger teams throughout the entire competition, just because it is lining up for the first time ever with the NRLW. But it will be fascinating to see who might actually impress coach Ricky Henry, for example. Like maybe Selena Cowley could burst out and make a surprise debut in the NRLW. I'm not saying she will or whatever, but she could surprise. She could absolutely smash the Mackay Cutters this year and could find herself in a debut position in 2025. The other thing to this as well is Caitlin Tanner. She is a half and she will be playing for the Queensland Under-19s team next week. I think it's fair to suggest, unless if she's not playing with the Northern Pride, and I can't confirm that, but she might find herself as a half here for the Mackay Cutters in the next 3 weeks or so. There's another player as well that I've mentioned on Wobble and Jaw Sports before, and that's Ella Cronin Flanagan, who I believe did her ACL about a month or so ago. She was absolutely slaying the competition in the under-19s comp, and I think it's fair to say that we would have seen her a part of this 1-17 coming into this weekend. She is, or then again, she would have been picked for Queensland under-19s, but in any event, there's another player that's missing who I'm very, very fond of. I think 2026 is the year of ECF, Ella Cronin Flanagan. Watch this space. So yeah, I just really wanted to come on here and talk about the Mackay Cutters, and I'm so excited to get stuck back into hitting the road and then following the Cutters wherever they freaking go, sort of thing. And yes, the Mackay Cutters men's team, the Host Plus Cup team, they find themselves in the bottom four at the moment, at the top of the bottom four, if you will. But they got themselves a breakthrough victory after being on a 4-game losing streak. They beat the Ipswich Jets at home, and they have been plucky. They've sort of been wavy in and out. They had a really disappointing outing last weekend against the Sunshine Coast Falcons, or the week before, I should say. And then they came back and they finally beat the Ipswich Jets, who are sitting in about 4th or 5th position and who are also enjoying their best season in years at the moment. But the Cutters, yeah, there's a couple of players there that I do see a lot of potential for the future for. We've got John Riddell. I've been singing his praises for the best part of 12 to 18 months now, and he had himself another good game over the weekend. So I'm looking forward to seeing or continuing to see John Riddell's progression. Jeremiah Matautia coming off of the bench, he has been pretty solid in 2025. And look, I haven't seen every single game from the Mackay Cutters, but they're a plucky side. They made the North's Devils team sweat hardcore. If their last tackle options were just a little bit more polished, I think they really would have caused a boil over in that game about 3 weeks ago. So they can take it to the better teams, can the Mackay Cutters, but the young Ryan Rivette is still learning his craft, developing himself, and there's some positives. There's absolutely positives to take out for the Mackay Cutters. But on the other side of things, the Northern Pride, they find themselves in a real hard situation. They were the minor premiers by the length of the straight last year, and now they're sitting about, I think last time I saw, they were 3rd last. So both North Queensland Cowboys feeder teams are sitting inside the bottom 4, but it's not all doom and gloom. The likes of a Tom Duffy is still floating around as well for the Northern Pride. But I really can't tell you too much about the Northern Pride. I just haven't been able to watch that much friggin' footy this season. And then for the BMD Premiership, we've got the debut of the Northern Pride. We've got Kim Hunt, who has been moved up from the Dragons, and I don't think she has an NRLW contract in 2025. Are we friggin' joking? But she's going to be the captain and playing centre for the Northern Pride in 2025. And then Sarika Muka, the Northern Pride snatched her up. Her contract finished with the North Queensland Cowboys, unfortunately. She doesn't have an NRLW contract, but this is her chance to show not just the Cowboys, but the entire NRLW universe that she does deserve to be somewhere. She is way too intense and she is way too talented, just way too impactful not to have an NRLW contract, Sarika Muka. So I really hope that she absolutely kills it, like I know she freaking can, and hopefully that she can pick herself up an NRLW contract sometime over the next 6 or so months. Thank you everybody for your continuous support. I hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you very much for watching it all the way through. Mackay Cutters BMD Premiership 2025 starts this weekend. The Premiership defence starts this weekend against Tweed in Tweed. I'll see you there. Thank you very much. Take care. Adios.